Happy Monday, everyone.
Lots of people joining us from around the world.
Throw into the chat while we're waiting for everyone to jump in. What is something you are proud of this week? Either giving a shout out to a teamie, maybe something you've done for the first time, hit a little milestone in your business, pop it into the chat. Awesome, Sonia, your first teamie. That is amazing. Congratulations. Sue, Kitty joined the team today. Welcome, Kitty. That's awesome news. Hey, Jackie, you got your conference ticket. Epic. That is awesome. We love that. Canberra is going to be incredible. Ashley, many invites and 2 follow-up calls. Follow up on a new customer, Jess. Congratulations. I did a live for the first time and I was terrified. Well, good on you for going first time. That's awesome. Jody, new potential teamie and 2 clients. Kerry, a public speaking event on the weekend. Your biggest fear, overcoming it 1 at a time. That is so good. Tamara swallowed her fear and was interviewed live. This is awesome. All the people added into the opportunity group. Great job, Justine. Simone, first 2 teamies. That is so cool.
Kimberly, love watching Hayley Kane show up and start sharing her journey on social media. Julie Half, hey girl, 3 customers. Oh no, 1 new customer that isn't a friend or family.
Yeah,
that's a
great
big
job.
jump. Melanie, 3 new customers and hit SP last week. Can we get a...
Yeah,
where is that thing?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Imogen, I love that. Being consistent and not giving up. That's what this whole game is about, consistency.
Absolutely. We got conference tickets purchased. I love it. If you guys are just joining us, throw us in something that you're proud of, shouting out a teamie, yourself, something you've done for the first time. Amazing. So, so cool. Love seeing all of this. Shall we kick things off?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Let me just fix this music. Done.
Perfect. So welcome to Monday night's training. If you are here, give yourself a pat on the back. I look at any kind of career and the training that goes into that. Our story, I was a chiropractor and exercise physiologist. So that was 8 years of tertiary study and it was consistent, right? And so the fact that you can be here on a weekly basis on a Monday night to pour into something that could potentially create the life you desire, the freedom, is amazing. For us, we said no to this business for 7 years. 7 years of a conversation that just kept baking. And so eventually we took a closer look, all because of a conversation. And we finally said yes. And then in 9 months, we were able to sell 4 of our chiropractic centers. And at the 3-year mark, we were able to sell our last one and essentially retire from traditional business and into this. So we've been doing this for 8 years. We live on a beautiful farm now with our 3 amazing kids that we choose to homeschool. And I think the first thing I'd love to get across is this journey is very simple. It's simple things done consistently, but it's not easy because most people aren't committed to being consistent. But I'm going to tell you, for those who stick with the journey, who conquer their little fears, who reach out and take action, because you can tune into this like a Monday night, like it's your favorite Netflix or your favorite TV show and go, wow, aren't they entertaining? Not really. But if you don't take action and apply that, you're not moving closer to those dreams. So I want to really tell you that it's worth it.
Absolutely. And for those of you that don't know us, I'm Kate and this is Anthony. So we are PMD leaders, both of us, with Juice Plus. And like Ant said, we've been with the company for coming up 8 years and it has completely changed our world. And so I'm just seeing so many amazing comments and just things that you've all done that have stretched you outside of your comfort zone. And I have to say, when we first got started, it didn't feel comfortable. We were feeling awkward. We did have our doubts and all of those things. But the one thing we did was lean into those that had gone before us. And we just followed the steps that they were taking, and that was creating success. And that's what these trainings are all about.
I love that there was a system to follow. There's no point reinventing the wheel. Success leaves clues. And so you do that which people have done before you, and you save yourself a whole lot of time, a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of money, a whole lot of frustration. And so we're going to dive straight into the system. And it's so cool because it really is kind of a wash, rinse, repeat. The building block of this business is that promotion called senior partner. We call it the core rank. And so if you can get there and then teach people to get there, who then teach other people to get there, that really is the magnificence, that is the beauty of this business. And so we call it the U+2 system. So we'll start sharing our screen and we'll start diving into a little bit of strategy to get started. Hey?
Absolutely. And you all have access to these resources within your team page, but we just want to reiterate and remind you guys that these are here, they're there for you, and they absolutely work. That's the first thing. And so, for you to work towards that promotion of senior partner, first of all, we want to help you find your first 2 customers.
Well, let's pause there. Let's pause. It's about you. So if for some unknown reason you are not on the product, you're not taking the products consistently daily, now would be a good time to start that. We're going to dive into this in this session, just how amazing these products are and the impact that they can have. But it starts with you. It's very hard to sell that which you don't own. And so it starts with you. And then you'll want to find 2 people who can go ahead and have the same health journey.
Absolutely. And that gets you to that first promotion on the way to the next. And so there's 3 strategies that all of the top leaders use and I've identified that work and that we want to just remind you of tonight. Maybe you've done one of them before and it worked for you and then you haven't done it again. Maybe you're new to the team and you're kind of like wondering where you get started. But the 3 strategies are, first of all, asking for support. We all have friends, family, loved ones that are cheering us on, that you've supported in their business, that if you actually reached out to them and said, hey, I've just kicked off my own business and I'd so love your support, would you be open to learning more about what I'm up to? They would absolutely be cheering you on, but we have to ask them. Secondly, there's the add tag message system where we've all got programs and groups that we can add our potential customers or team into and share a story that's going to resonate with them and help share more about what it is that we do. And then lastly, a launch post or a event. And so the first thing, this is super simple, guys, and this could be a phone call, it could be a message, however you talk to people that you love. But if you think about those people around you, I like to say, imagine you're opening a restaurant and all of your friends and family knew you were the world's worst chef, but they loved you to bits. And you're opening a restaurant, you say, hey, would you come to my opening of my restaurant? This is exactly the same. And just to say, hey, can I ask for your help? I've just launched my business. I'm looking for 5 people to get started. And would you be one of them? In your own words, but I promise you, this absolutely works every single time. And I know we heard last week, she didn't just reach out to 5 people, she reached out to 40 people using this exact strategy, and she rocked her way with her second promotion. So this absolutely works, and it's just about conversations and reaching out and starting with the people that love and care about you. The second one is to add them into the preview group that you would have access to and share a story, a video, a post that you know would land with them. Maybe it's someone that is a nurse just like them, or maybe they're a stay-at-home mum and they've got similar health challenges with their kids, just connecting them to a story that's going to be relevant. And then after you share that with them, to say, hey, what did you like best about what I shared with you, or what resonates most with you?
And just on that, think about some word association. A skill that you really want to develop in this business is when you hear a story, think, who do I know? And I'd love you to write that somewhere and put it where you work. Lauren Lahav, one of our amazing uplines, she's the best at this. She'll be at a conference, she'll hear a story about a nurse, let's use that, and she'll think, who do I know? And in that moment, she'll message every nurse she knows. You know, I just heard a story that made me think of you. Hey, what's up? Okay, so that's an example of how to start a conversation. And when they start getting back to you saying, hey, I've got no idea if this could be for you, but I'm going to share a little story. It's in a group here. Let me know once you've had a look, and we'll find out what you like best. So whenever you hear a story, you think of a profession. It might be a nurse. It might be someone with eczema. It might be, you know, someone with diabetes. Not that we're diagnosing, prescribing things, but it's just the thought of, gosh, I could possibly help this person. So I really want you to jot that down as one of the key takeaways of tonight, this word association, not just going, wow, that was a really inspiring story.
Simone just saying she did that after the Melbourne catch up and she has 2 potentials. That's amazing. So
nice.
You've got to connect people to the story. And then the third strategy is either doing a launch post on your socials or you do a launch event. And so you connect with your mentor and say, hey, I want to launch my business, and you invite people along to that launch, or you invite them to watch the replay of that. Super, super powerful. Then you're circling back with everyone to see, you know, what they loved about it, what questions they have, and working with your mentor to do that. And if you follow these and you use these strategies, guys, can tell you right now, it absolutely works. And people are rocking their way to those first 2 promotions very, very powerfully, which is awesome. And it all comes down to helping people.
Let's do a little stock take. If you've used strategy 1, pop a 1 in the comment, a 2 in the comments, a 3, or all 1, 2, 3, and it's actually worked. Pop that in the comments. And isn't it interesting as we see all the numbers going in, the system just works.
Yep.
But who did that? And then they haven't done it for a while. Humans have this funny ability where they go, yeah, I used to do that and it really worked. Oh, great. When was the last time you did it? I didn't do it again. So these basic strategies, I'm telling you, can take you all the way to the top. If you just do this and you can get to senior partner, and then you teach others to do that, because sometimes people are here going, when are they going to tell me the secret though? When are they going to tell me like the secret sauce? I'm telling you, this is the source. It's the consistency of doing the basic actions on a consistent basis.
Yeah. So let's head over to one of our newest senior partners within the team, Stephanie. I'm going to pop you in the spotlight. Let me just make sure I can get you set up here, add you into the spotlight. And if you can just unmute you. Hello. It's so good to have you with us tonight.
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
It's our pleasure. Congratulations. It's so awesome. I'd love, first of all, for you to share what does life look like for you, I guess, before you got started with Juice Plus in the business?
It was financially stressful. That was what it was. I am a psychotherapist and a group fitness instructor. So I just recently, I think during the pandemic, launched my own business, and, you know, takes a while. It's taking a while. So yeah, I was also doing like a part-time job for a bit, as well as a receptionist, and yeah, it was just making ends meet and that kind of thing. So, you know, that's what life was like.
And so what attracted you to getting started with Juice Plus?
It was the supplementary income, and it was the fact that, okay, so I'm a group fitness exercise instructor, but probably not the best for my nutrition. So I was like, yeah, like I know veggies are good. Don't know why they're good. So, you know, I'll just sort of jump on that. And I liked all the research about the product and stuff. So, you know, having done, you know, tertiary studies and things, you know, that was really important. So yeah, kind of being able to have that as part of it as well. I was like, now I can, you know, be the idea that most people go, oh, you're a group fitness instructor, you must be healthy. And I'm like, well, I really like chocolate. So
amazing. And out of curiosity, how did you actually find out about the business? Did you see a post? Did someone reach out to you?
So my mentor is also a group fitness instructor. She's also a trainer, Amanda Gatfield. So she was just like, oh, we're very similar. We do a lot of similar things. Maybe you'd be, I don't know, maybe you'd be interested. And I was like, yeah. And then it was a really lovely process because it was just kind of like, oh, you know, just a little bit at a time. So I wasn't overwhelmed or like felt like I was being sold to all that kind of thing. So yeah.
Perfect. Amazing. And so
I have a question. Did you know Amanda, or did you connect online?
No, kind of sort of. I've never actually met Amanda in person, but I professionally know her. So yeah.
Incredible. And so out of the 3 strategies that we were just sharing before with everyone, what were what strategy did you use to help reach that awesome promotion of senior partner?
So I tried all 3. The asking for support and the launch post were the best for me.
Amazing.
They worked really, really well.
Excellent. And were you a little bit nervous asking for support? Were you kind of hesitant in any of that, or were you like, let's do this?
It depended on who I was asking, actually, because I was a bit like, weirdly, I don't know why, but asking like my family members was a bit like, oh, I don't know. But asking friends felt a lot easier. So,
but they supported you, right? Your family.
Oh yeah. I even actually had participants support me. So like I put up like a status and stuff, and I'd participants go like, oh yeah, like what's that? I want to do that. So I was like, yeah, it was helpful.
Incredible. So good. And I love that you tried all 3 strategies, you know, because sometimes we just find we gravitate more to one, but you don't know until you've tried them all as well. And so what does reaching senior partner mean to you, that bonus, and what are you looking forward to for the future?
It was so good. What does it mean? It just means that, you know what it means? It means that I can do it. Like that's all it was. Like I was just like, I can actually do this, and it's not terribly difficult. Like a lot of it kind of seemed what I do anyway, like what you were saying before about who do I know. Like I often go, oh yeah, I know someone else who does that thing, and like, you know, that sort of just normal, like in normal conversation. So it kind of felt easy to sort of slip into it, and it just kind of proved to me that I can do something and make money from it and really enjoy it. And I knew that in, like, you know, with the other things I do, I really love, but this is a different way. So yeah, I think that was just really good.
Incredible.
Amazing. And what are you doing with that bonus?
It's going to debts I need to pay off.
You got to put at least a little bit of that bonus towards you and something.
I'm going to conference. So awesome. So I just paid for my ticket today. So that's very exciting.
Brilliant.
Smart investment.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I know that this is just the beginning. You've got beautiful mentorship in Amanda, and we can't wait to see your journey continue to rock. Thanks so much for sharing tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So cool. And guys, you know, senior partner, it's the building block. I like to say, you know, as you start to reach that level, it's like, think of a castle, and you get to create, using a Lego piece as senior partner, you get to build your castle as big as you want. And so, but senior partner is that building block to get you there, which is really cool. So we're going to switch gears a little bit now and dive into the leadership training element of tonight, which we're really excited about. And first of all, want to just get you to start to think bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. If you bring that image up. So we had a cool little retreat for our leaders here on our farm. And I just had this realization. I found this tiny little seed. Okay, it looked like a blueberry. It was about, imagine the size of a blueberry. And I knew it was the seed that grew a tree like this. And so think for a second that everything that berry needed was already in it to produce this tree. And so just like you, where you have this seed of hope, this vision of what you'd love to create for your life, it's all in there. And so as that seed is planted in fertile ground of this Juice Plus business, which I'm telling you, you couldn't have found a better home. The support, the corporate, the events that are being run, the products are just second to none. And so my second point for you, the first one, it's worth it. The second one, you're in the right place. Mm-hmm. You are so in the right place that when you look at this tree, what you don't see is all of the roots underneath. You don't see all of that work. And that work is the development you do on yourself. It's all of the personal development, the knockbacks, someone challenges you on this. Someone said that's pyramid. That's, you're just selling to your friends. All of that is what builds the roots underneath. And it's necessary. But that's what creates the trunk. So when you look at this tree, you are the trunk. But I want you to start really looking at that tree. And what do you notice the trunk does? It finds 5 good people. It finds 5 good people. And those 5 people then go out and find 5 good people. And this continues on. And then when you get out to the very end there, you have these beautiful leaves. And the leaves are your customers. And these customers, we're going to dive into some health stats in a second. The world needs our product. Okay?
More than ever.
The world absolutely needs our product. And so one of the things, it's probably not the space for this, but some of you would know that once you're a senior partner, you have the ability to do what's qualify your business. And a qualified business, we know, is around about 25 Juice Plus orders. But if they're also on the children's health study, well, their child's on that as well. So it's really, you're impacting about 50 people. So
drop a 50 in the chat if you are a qualified business. I'd love to see who on the line here is a qualified business. Amazing. The impact that your vision and the people that you've connected with that you're making is huge.
So if you look on the end of one of those little branches, you've got about 50 leaves there. And I want you to start looking at that, of the impact that you're making if you're a qualified business. Now, the way that you grow a bigger business is you find more people who have, and you're helping them qualify these amazing business. So 25 to 50 leaves, if you will, okay? And that's, I got this from Kimberly, that you have this collective impact on 50 families when you're a qualified business. Now, if you can go ahead and stay qualified, like Bronwyn Hunter.
24 years qualified. Like, that is insane. The ripple effect of your vision, Bronwyn, that is just incredible. Like, huge. That's goals for me right there. Amazing.
Incredible. And then what happens is, I was looking at the end of this tree and looking at, oh my gosh, it actually bears fruit itself. These little berries that are the seeds start appearing, and then they start dropping. So if you start looking around of that, when we go back to that image, you'll see it's actually dropped and planted other seeds that grows this forest, okay, this incredible forest. But imagine your seed drops in Portugal, and it drops in Canada, and it drops in Singapore, and it drops, where would you love it to drop? And you don't even have to know someone who lives there yet, okay, in France, and it builds this incredible forest. And so I really wanted to start this by getting an image of what this business is.
And what's truly possible.
One of the reasons I was attracted to this is this follows natural laws, okay? Because if you take that seed and you put it in fertile ground, I promise you're in fertile ground here. If you give it sunshine, if you give it light, if you give it water, it can't help but grow. And same as this business, if you have conversations, if you continue to take the product, if you continue to put other people first, these are the nourishment that you need. And if you do that consistently, what can be created is really mind-blowing. That's right.
We want to jump into a bit of a reality check, guys, of why Juice Plus, why what we have in our hands is so important and needed in the world today. I know if you know these stats, I actually pulled a lot of them. I'm very, very recent. Over 3/4 of Australians have at least one long-term health condition right now in the last 2021. Nearly half had at least a chronic condition. 2/3 of Australians are considered overweight or obese. And get this, this is disgusting. 7% of adults and 5% of kids are meeting the recommended servings of veggies every single day. We speak to people, right? And they say, yeah, I eat pretty good. Most people are in denial of what's going on, yet they're suffering every day because their energy is affected, their immune system is affected, their children are sick, they've got, lower immunity. All of these things are going on right now.
Sue Parkin, 15 kg down. That's awesome, girl.
Amazing.
Since we moved to the farm, I've been doing so much reading around soils. And in Australia, 90% of the topsoil has been washed away in the last 70 years. So even the people who are getting their servings of their fruit and veg, it's so void of what it needs for us as human beings to thrive.
Yeah.
And I really want you to get this, because sometimes people go, but is it locally grown? I don't know that I'd want to have fruit and veg that necessarily locally grown in Australia, okay? Unless it was a biodynamic or an organic farmer who actually put so much nourishment into that soil.
Yeah.
You want to have things that are grown where they grow the best. And I love that about Juice Plus. Every single piece of produce is grown in a specially selected area where we know that has maximum nutrient density.
And it thrives. Yeah, absolutely. So another interesting statistic, how's this? If every Australian ate an additional half a cup of veggies a day, government health expenditure would reduce by an estimated 100 million a year. This is insane. And then we just heard from the beautiful Stephanie, who knows everything that she should be doing, but she's busy. She knows fitness and health and all that stuff. But most people are too busy to do that, to do the extra half, to get to their 5 serves of, of veg every day. 7% of Aussies are landing it every single day. This is why we need our products every single day. This is why, for me, when I think about having a conversation about Juice Plus with something, I'm not selling someone. It's an obligation for me to reach out and to share this, because most people are not thriving any day of the week. And the last thing is approximately 80% of chronic diseases are driven by lifestyle factors, meaning that they could be preventable. What I love about our products, is that we help with prevention. And it's just about, helping connect the dots for people. They might not even be thinking about their fruit and veg consumption. They might not be thinking about their children's eczema or their energy levels or their need to have 5 coffees a day, and how they could actually shift their lifestyle choices and make a shift. But we know that they can. So how do we bridge the gap and have the conversations to create the impact, to create more of those leaves on the tree? That's what it's all about.
So let's, with that in mind, I think it's really important, because sometimes, I don't know, pop a 3 in the comments if this business becomes a little bit like, oh, I need to get someone, or my next promotion is this. I'm kind of on the hunt for someone. We've all been in that space. But when you look at these stats and you have that vision of that tree, and you realize to create all those beautiful leaves, to create the forest, that's your customers. That those customers aren't just a number. If you have a qualified business of an adult and a child, 50 people, where they're flooding their body every day with cellular nutrition, that's repairing DNA, that's improving cardiovascular health, all of these incredible changes that you see on the screen in front of you, within 7 days, those micronutrients have increased at a cellular level. 2 weeks, reduced serum lipids, which means reduce their fat, reduce oxidative stress. Most people think about an athlete. Think about an athlete who trains really hard every day, but then they go stretch, they get their massage, they do their recovery. Most people work harder than athletes without the recovery, without the good nutrition. So there's this term called industrial athlete, and everyone is. And so they're burning themselves from the inside out. And if it's not replacing them, that's why people are aging prematurely.
Yeah. So, I love this slide because it just shows the compound effect of flooding our body every single day with our products, right? And so much of all of these benefits that we can see right now, we do not feel. And so it's so important not to get attached to, oh, but this hasn't happened yet, but this hasn't happened yet, because look at all of the beautiful things that are happening internally within our system. And it's important to remind our customers of this as well, that they're not just attached to that outcome of, well, I want this to happen and it's not happening yet, because all of this beautiful healing is taking place. The other thing, as we're talking about healthy starts, look at what happens when children are on our products. The healthy starts movement is just phenomenal. And the fact that our company gets behind this, there's millions of families benefiting from free product all around the world. 60% of kids having fewer days at school, 71% consuming less fast food and soft drinks. Like, this stuff is life-changing, guys. This stuff changes the way that children grow and thrive. And we have this in our hands. And as I said before, this is what makes me feel hand on heart that I have an obligation to share this with other people, not, that I'm selling or pushing anything on anyone.
Absolutely. Do you have stats on, I don't know if you have it handy, when a person starts on Juice Plus, one of the key things is they keep taking it, right? Juice Plus isn't something that I did. We heard Bronwyn, 24 years straight of having a qualified business, but that's taking the product as well. So if you want to have long-term health for your customers and you want to have long-term residual income, it's about having your customers stay on the product, all right? And so do you know the stats, or
I don't have them to give
do you recall those?
I don't want to throw a number out, no.
We know that it's vastly higher retention when a person has their child.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's, I believe, 60 to 70% higher retention if you have a customer on Healthy Starts, meaning that it's not just about them. They're thinking about a child, whether it's their own, their grandchild, their friend's child. So you can literally more than double the retention in your business if you have the Healthy Starts conversation with your customer.
So I want you, this is an action step I want you to take. I want you to go through your business and have a look at all of your customer orders and see who isn't on Healthy Starts, and reach out to them and make sure they're aware of what's available. It doesn't have to be their child. It could be a niece, a nephew, a neighbor. But the fact that they get free product, they have a bigger impact because they're paying it forward now, right? Even if they're a customer, they feel like they're contributing. They're more likely to stay on the product. So that's a no-brainer, guys. You can increase your retention and you can increase your impact with that step alone tonight.
Yeah, 100%. So with all of this impact, it all comes back to having quality conversations.
Yeah. So this business, write this down if you haven't heard me say it before. The person who wins in this business is the one who has the highest quantity of quality conversations. The most important part is the quantity, because the more conversations you have, the better you get at it. So the quality will come. But if you're not reaching out and having conversations with people, you could have the best intentions. You could have the best product. You've got the best mentor, the best everything available. But how the heck do people know if you're doing the business or not? And
out of curiosity, pop a 1 in the chat right now if the reason that you started on Juice Plus as a customer on the team was because someone reached out to you and had a conversation. I'm curious. Yeah. It's not this magical post or this epic poll that someone did most of the time. It's actually that someone took the time to reach out to you and say, hey, this is awesome. So good. There's so many ones dropping in this chat right now.
So if you want a higher impact, if you want to have a higher income, it's really the art of conversation. That's the fundamental key to creating freedom and impact. So we're going to go through a bit of an oldie but a goodie with training. And a quick story. Kate and I, we did Taekwondo when we were, I was still going through chiropractic college. And we're very fortunate. We got to train with the Olympic coach. We got to train with a lot of Olympians. And so I actually I didn't compete, but I went to the Olympics in Athens, right? And I got to watch our coach, Carlo, compete. And it was fascinating, I thought, because some of the very first moves that you're taught is like a basic punch, a basic front kick. And you'd think by the time someone was a black belt, like Triple Dan, going to the Olympics, the move they would use to like win would be like a spinning triple backflip, like something like you see on the movies. But I'm there watching, and the moves that's winning the Olympic medals is a front punch and a front kick. It's just that they could do it better and faster with more efficiency at the right time than anyone else. Now, I really want you to hear this, because you think, oh, wow, to go to the peak of this business, there must be these other special moves. The very first move, ask for help, add tag message, a launch post, an event, are the very same move that's going to have you walk the stage as NMD, or put an extra $500 in your bank account, or whatever it might be, okay? And so it's getting better and better at the fundamentals consistently. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to pre-frame what we're about to go through, because sometimes I'm guilty of this. Someone will start a training, and as soon as that little voice goes, I know this, you miss the opportunity. It's getting onto the edge of the seat like you've never learned this before, and I'm going to hear something new. Mm-hmm. Or here's a concept, actually applying what you hear.
Yeah.
It's not about knowing it, it's the application of it.
Yeah, and you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you're not having the conversations, how on earth can you expect to have impact and reach your goals? It's not about being this world-class expert in every single ingredient, how the products are made. That's not going to help you go help lots of people. You have to start having those conversations. And I always like to say, it's like I'm throwing out, a lifeline, and every conversation I'm having is a lifeline. And I don't know when or if someone is going to pick that up and be ready for it. But I know that the first conversation that happened with us, we weren't ready. There was a lifeline thrown to us, but it was not the right timing. It was 6 years of lifelines being thrown out at us until we were ready to pick it up. And so you can't be attached to that initial outcome at all. You've got to have a long-term vision with this and know that the only thing you have control over is how many conversations, how many lifelines you're throwing out there.
And right on cue, Sue Park, and I love you for introducing this. What is a conversation? Hey, I just joined this business, it's Juice Plus, it's amazing, it's like all these fruit and vegetables. You should totally be taking it. Come join my business. That's not starting a conversation. It's Greg saying to Sue, how are you? What's been going on? How are the kids? I always like to bring it back to a real life analogy. So if I was at the park, pushing the pram or pushing the kids on the swing at the gym, the first thing I'd say to someone, if I was just kind of walking past or in the vicinity, was, hey, how you doing? And then you would look for something that's common, oh, how old's your little boy? Do you come to the park often? How long have you been coming to the gym? So you want to find commonality. That's the first thing with conversation. But if you're doing it online, it's no different. It's like, hey, great to connect. All right. From there, I'm going to play a little song, and I want you to really get this. You might have heard the song before, but I think it'll just kind of bring this home. Where are we? Maybe not from the start. Go maybe 10 seconds.
Light. When I say red light,
no, go back.
I need you to stop.
So go back.
When I say green light, instructions.
2 instructions.
I need you to follow. When I say red light, I need you to stop. When I say green light, I need you to go. Red light. Green light.
let's get out of there. There, it's a classic, right? I don't know if you've ever seen. Oh no, that's a different song. Let's get back to it. Red light. You have no permission whatsoever to share about Juice Plus unless you know something about this person. And you're looking for, people are driven by pain or by pleasure. And I'm going to let you know a tip. Most people aren't waking up this morning and going, I really should start a fruit and vegetable in a capsule business. You know, when I was a little boy or girl, that was just my wildest dream. I think today is the day. People just aren't waking up thinking that. But they are thinking about, gosh, I have no idea. I'm hoping and praying I can find something to help my little girl with her eczema. You know, she's waking up every morning, the sheets are bloody. There must be something out there. They're thinking,
my boss just dropped my hours another 10. So how on earth am I going to pay rent next month?
They're thinking, I have no idea what's going on in the world and politics, but it doesn't feel right. I don't feel secure. There must be another way that I can secure my family's future. They must be thinking, my little boy, Bodhi, he comes, he goes, Dad, because we homeschool, Dad, do you know that 40% of jobs in the next 2 years are going to be obsolete? I'm like, these are big words. What does that mean? He said, well, jobs just aren't going to be applicable anymore. And I'm like, that's a pretty wild statistic. 40% of jobs in the next 2 years will not be existent. So what are all those people going to do? They're waking up thinking about that. And so your ability to find someone's pain is the mastery of conversation. Unless people are satiated, they're complacent and they're bored, then you need to paint a vision that's going to attract them to the pleasure. And so how do you find that? It's the old acronym of LORD, L-O-R-D. We're going to go through it really fast. I think most of you would have seen this. So L is all about location. Where do you live? Have you always lived there? How is life there? Okay. O, occupation. How's your week been? What have you got planned for the weekend? What do you do? How long for? How do you love it? If you could do anything, what would it be? The R is recreation. What do you love to do in your spare time? What's keeping life full for you? What do you love to do on weekends? Then D is dreams and desires. What does your ideal day look like? What are your main goals you're working towards? What do you love to do for fun? But this is the key. And I got this from Lozzie, and you got to go first. It's the power of vulnerability. Because otherwise, if you're having this exchange of messages or you're doing it in real life, it can feel like an interview or an interrogation. So you want to have it flow. And the way that you do that is you go first. So, hey, we live on the Gold Coast. Where's home for you? Would be an example. You know, this weekend, you know, we've got soccer. You know, I've started playing again after 20 years. What are you up to? If you go first, it kind of lets the person know what's the kind of conversation, what's the kind of answer. And as you weave this into your conversation, it builds rapport because you're letting them know something about you, then you're being curious. And people love talking about themselves. The other thing when I coach team is if people are having enough conversations and they're not getting it to the point where they can send an invite to say, hey, got no idea if this could be for you, but if I send you something, would you take a closer look? And the red light is on up until the point where they ask, hey, what is it that you do? Hey, can I lean in? What's going on there? Or you do ask the question because you're like, it all feels right. I know enough about this person. I've got enough pain. I've got enough leverage there that you reflect back to them saying, hey, you know, from what you've shared, it sounds like you're not really loving what you're doing. You know, it sounds like you're looking for something else. And to be honest, I got no idea if this could be for you, but would you be open to taking a closer look? Is the way we bring it to the green light. Until then, it's red light, baby. Okay, so have that song in your head, red light, red light, red light. And then, okay, green light, let's dance. For some of you, you're just making pen pals. It's just like red light, red light, red light, red light. They've told you their boss sucks, they hate their job, they want to spend more time with their kids, they're into wellness, and you're still asking about their cat.
Because you're either making it about you and you don't want to get rejected and you're too nervous to ask the question, or you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and just ask them, because otherwise your business will get very frustrating if all you do is have lots and lots of chats with people and it goes no further. You'll get frustrated, you'll lose inspiration, you'll forget why you said yes.
So that's where you go back to the tree and you think about, how do I find my 5 who finds 5 that starts creating an impact in the world? And the worst thing that can happen, let's say you jump the green light too fast and you've gone, hey, it sounds like this, you know, you're not happy with that, you're looking for something else, or, you know, you need another way to travel. You know, would you be open to creating another stream of income that's online in the time that you're probably already on social media? Yeah, I would. Well, if I sent you something, would you take a closer look? Oh, I'm not really open. That's okay. That's really the worst that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
The worst is, okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, send it, I'll take a look sometime. That's probably not green light yet. You've got to the offer. You've said, hey, I could send you something. I have no idea. And think about this. The worst thing people feel is being pushed into a corner. I'm in a corner and you're kind of forcing me to make a decision. So the verbiage of, I have no idea if this can be for you or if the timing is even right. Okay. But if I sent you something, would you take a closer look? People aren't backed into a corner. So for some of you, you're too far over here, just going, hey, I've got this Juice Plus thing, I'm going to send it to you. Check out my link. Blah. Some of you are like, yeah, and how's the cat? And how's Aunt Betty? You know, when we were speaking a year ago, when I started this conversation, Betty was not, where, how's she now? That you gotta, wherever you are, and some of you already identified what end of the scale that you're on. The name of the game is conversations.
Yeah.
The more conversations, and then you escalate that to the point where you can send them an invitation to take a closer look.
Yeah. And remember, as you're having conversations, people are going to check out what it is that you're sharing online, what it is that you're up to on your stories. And so that brings into you living the mission. You want to be living the mission and sharing what it is that you do, so that not only is there a conversation happening, but they're kind of, if I'm chatting to someone, I'm going to want to know what they're about. I'm going to check out their stories. I'm going to check out their posts. I'm not going to see if they're posting every day or anything like that, but I'm going to get a flavor of what it is that they stand for and what's important to them. So you want to make sure that every day, if you're, living the mission, taking our beautiful products, having your smoothies, kids having the gummies, whatever it looks like, that you're sharing that through your social media as well, so that people get an understanding of what it is that you're about.
Do you have some examples?
Yeah, I do. I can just want to give you just some examples of different ways in which you can just show yourself sharing the mission. And it's super, super simple. The first one, it could be sharing a link to one of your stories that you've, sharing a post of yours about the product in your story so that people go check it out. Maybe it's a poll around the kids' gummies and all these images, like the head office has created an amazing library of images for you to use. Maybe it's you having a smoothie or taking the capsules and just sharing. It's not a sales post. It's like, this is part of my daily health regime. Well, if I'm curious, I'm going to say, well, tell me more about that as well. So it's just knowing that you're putting it out there, that people are looking at what it is that you're up to. Some more examples, having this chocolate smoothie for lunch. What's in that? Tell me, how do I get that? I love chocolate. Like, just think about.
Would they do that, Tony?
I would.
Right.
Yeah. Or, you know, we've got here the capsules, eat well, live well, eat well, supplement well. The polls, if you want chocolate or vanilla, people voting on that, getting the good stuff into my body. So just think about how you can sprinkle this through your posts, your stories, and your life, because this will create curiosity as well. And if you're having a conversation with someone and there's none of this on any of your socials, it's kind of gonna, whatever you share will be a little bit out of the blue. Whereas if you've got this and it's a part of what you're sharing, then people are like, huh, okay, she's into health or he's into fitness and obviously passionate about making a difference. So kids getting into it. So just think about how you can create a reason for people to engage with you, as well as the conversations that you're choosing to start as well. It's super important.
So it's not just posting and it's not just conversations. You need them both. You think of what you're putting on your stories, what you're posting is just your, the board on your shop front. It's the posters. And so you've still got to reach out on the street going, hey, don't know if it could be for you. Come in, take a closer look. Well, what is this about? Oh, you got this. Then there's a chance to come on into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love everyone to pop into the comments. Where is your fertile ground to have conversations? Who's on Insta? Who's on Facebook? Who likes TikTok, Facebook, Messenger? What about Facebook groups? Who's in Facebook groups? And then LinkedIn. Yeah, Instagram, awesome. Facebook. And what about when you're on Instagram, how are you finding your people? Are you looking at certain hashtags? Are you, hashtags, locations, lots of hashtags, warm market, chasing likes and follows from reels. And so what you're going to start to see there is there's a plethora of ways to do this business.
Yeah.
And what I really would suggest is pick one and do it really well. Because what I notice is people, they'll go, I'm going to have a go at Facebook. And they'll do it for a little bit and they'll start 3 conversations. Oh, no one started. I mustn't be good at that. I'll try Instagram. And they go there for a bit and they'll do that for a little bit. And I started 4 conversations there. And one person got back to me, but they were a bit weird. Oh, it must be LinkedIn. Choose something and master it. Okay. For me, it was Facebook. It was a Facebook 100% of the way. For others, it's in person. They're not on social media. For others, it's Instagram. A lot of people are starting to move to LinkedIn, but just find something and master it. For me, my strategy, I would find people who were of influence. They'd already created the network. I didn't need to. And I would go look at, the first thing was, why would people follow this person? So it'd be someone of, one of the people who I just went crazy on was Pete Evans. And this was kind of pre-COVID, where he
had social media account.
Got a little bit, yeah, we had a social media. So we're talking 8 years ago. Because I thought people follow Pete Evans at the time. They knew he was a bit left field. They knew he was into wellness. He had kind of probably similar values. And so I would literally just go in there and every single day, I would look at who was commenting or liking his posts. And I would jump in there and I would go for 20 people and I would friend request 20 people. And at the same time, I would send a message saying, hey, great to connect. That's it. Every single day I did this. Now, if I'm doing that every day, what I found is about 8 people would accept. That turned into about 10 over time. So I'd average 10 people. So if I'm having 10 extra people that I'm starting a conversation with every day, that's 300 conversations a month. And they're accepting my friend request. And if you do that for 10 out of 12 months, that's 3,000 people. So if you had 3,000 people, now they're not random people. These are people who have similar values. I've started a conversation with. They're now starting to see my posts because we're in a conversation, and that's what
the algorithm,
likes. And even though we had a pretty vast network, this is how I built my business. It was not because I thought, even if I've got this huge network, it's going to run out at some point. And I got that it's not how many people I can start, it's showing people a system that's duplicatable. And I can teach that to anyone.
On any platform as well. It doesn't matter what platform that is. You can find someone on Instagram and then look at who's engaging on their posts as well, or who's following them, and connect them that way. So
the other one is just going into different Facebook groups. You go, okay, here's a group that might be around something that's important to me. And it didn't have to be around fruit and veg, but it didn't have to be about wellness. Because you speak a certain language. Right now, I'm into regenerative farming. And if I went into a group there, they use all sorts of words I didn't know 3 months ago. So if we speak a language in there, guess what? All of those people in there are a human first. They've got kids. They've got health problems. They've got a desire to have another stream of income. And so for you, what I find is my last tip as we come out to the last 2 minutes. If you are trying to be a health person, trying to be a health coach, and that's really not a value, stop doing that. If you love cats or you love knitting, go join knitting groups or cat groups and talk about cats. Because people with cats still need fruit and vegetables. So connect on a human level first, and then you can start to, they're going to have same pains around health problems, around not getting to do the things that they love. So I'd love everyone to pop into the comments. What were your takeaways from tonight? And even more so, what are the things that you're committed to doing? As you start to put the red light, I like that. It all makes sense.
Light, yeah. Lord conversations, awesome. Conversations, that's it. Quality conversations. Relaunch event, yes, totally. If you've been on the team for 2 years, you can have a relaunch event to say, I don't actually think I've told you about what I'm up to. I'm sharing on an event next Thursday. Come check it out. Like, it doesn't have to be the first week of your business. I love it. Consistency, the tree analogy. How are you? Reflect back. Art of conversations. Amazing, you guys. Yeah, 7 and 5% meeting the daily veggie requirements. It's pretty crazy. Be kind. Yeah, plant the seed. Yeah, awesome. Amazing.
So where to from here? Right now, you're going to jump across into your team breakout. You'll have a different Zoom for that. The other thing is, in the very near future, you're going to go to one of these venues for your Reconnect tour.
This is it, guys. Celine and all of the top leaders in Australia are doing a tour, an amazing opportunity to get in front of, bring your guests and potentials and team along to, and just reconnect again, particularly in the lead up to our conference. I want to make sure you guys know it's free tickets, Juice Plus Reconnect at eventbrite.com.au. So super awesome to get a chance to go and be a part of these events. And then lastly, if you haven't already got your ticket for conference, lock it in. It's a no-brainer. It is going to be the most fun, exciting thing on the calendar the rest of this year. The lineup of speakers, what is available for this weekend. We're privy to what's going on, and it is just so exciting. So if you haven't got your ticket yet and you plan to, just lock it in, get it done, because it is just, when you invest in yourself, I have to say, it is the best investment that you can make. And you get around like-minded people like you will, you're going to be inspired, you're going to walk away with tools, you're going to have a clearer vision of what's possible and have a whole lot of fun. So thanks so much, guys, for playing Fall Out with us this evening. We look forward to seeing you guys in person at a Reconnect event or a conference. And yeah, head on into your team breakout rooms and we will...
Last thing, the other place you're going to go this week. I love that you're here. The leaders have all put together very specific trainings depending on the level that you're at. If you've just hit senior partner, your next thing you want to do is qualify your business. So reach out to your upline or your leader and say, hey, I want to go all in on this. I want to collect my next bonus. Which other training should I plug into? Is it starting strong? Is it the qualify your business? Is it the level up? And this is the other thing, guys. If you really want to take your business places, you want to get into the mastermind. There's a leadership mastermind that happens on a Thursday morning. And if there was a secret sauce, this is where it's at. But you've got to be what's called a 3 club. That means you've qualified your business and you've helped 3 other people to do that. And that's where we get into how do you start to really create that tree? How do you have an impact? And so reach out to your upline and find out if there was another training I could tap into, which one would it be, and plug them into it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, everyone. Good night, guys. We'll see you all soon.